Lassie Farm here. Can I finish this short story? I believe so. I believe this will be the last episode of the Wamsutter Wolf by Annie Proulx. And I wanted to give a quick shout out to Genesis Homestead. They had this t-shirt made just for me. The scale is open. Lassie Farm, look at that. That is just amazing. So thoughtful. I'm going to wear that soon. Thank you. So from where we left off, the Wamsutter Wolf. I want sugar puffs, whined Barbette. Then why the hell don't you go home and get some, he snapped. Can I, Mama? Sure, go on over. The child was out the door, slamming it behind her, but the catch failed and the door began to boom and swing in the wind. He got up and closed it, poured himself another cup of coffee. On the window, he could see Barbette scampering up the Wham steps just as Greg came to the door. Fumbling at his crotch, the girl disappeared inside, and the mountain man pissed on the ground, turned, and went back into the trailer. He was replaced by Race, who apparently preferred fresh air to his own diaper-flavored bathroom. They're up over there. I think you better go home and get things back on track. She leaned back in her chair and shot a stream of cigarette smoke at the ceiling. He ain't gonna like it. He ain't gonna like it that you fucked me. You're not the only one that don't like it, said Buddy. Besides, you'd be dumb to say anything about that. He's got a temper, which you know. Think of your kid with the busted arm. Could be you next time. Probably will be you. He wanted nothing so much as to throw his gear in the back of the Jeep and take off for Alaska. Problem was that his mother had not forwarded his checks amounting to several thousands, and he had less than $50 in his wallet and a credit card close to its maximum. He was in a bind. It was Sunday, but he would drive to town, call his mother, and see what was holding up the checks. First, he had to get Sherry out of here and on her way back to Race. Well, you got to get back over there. You picked him. He's your husband, father of your kids. Go on over, fix things up. Get it right with Mr. Wham. If you are smart, keep your mouth shut about what happened. And he got any idea coming over here to make trouble, I got my 30-06 ready for him. You just let him know that. And you keep your ass over there, too. What happened last night was a big mistake, and it will never happen again. I tried to help you with the hurt kid, but that's where it stops. Get out of my life. She gave a snort through her nose. You sure don't get it about Race. I bet he'll kill you. He won't be scared to know 30-06 of the hands of somebody who don't shoot much. He knew she was right, and it made him furious. Get out now! Get out! She got up, leaving her still full coffee cup, and uttered the ultimate wham riposte. Fuck you. She stuffed Lie under her arm, made a big deal of dropping the wetted blanket on the floor, and left, kicking the door closed with her nimble foot. As soon as she was around the corner, he went out to the Jeep, got his rifle, brought it inside, and loaded it. He watched their trailer through the scope, expecting to see Race Wham leap down the stairs in a blind fury, coming for him, but nothing happened, and he supposed Sherry had kept her mouth shut for the moment, and that they were all pigging out on some sugar puffs, even the mountain man. He stripped his bed and shoved every soiled garment and sheet and pillow slip he could find into the laundry bag, ready to go to town and spend the morning at the local laundry. He'd call his mother and find out about his checks, get his cousin Zane's telephone number. Before he could leave, he saw Greg and Sherry get in the power wagon and drive away. He guessed they were going to pick up Vern and Clarence, who probably had quite a hangover. That left Race alone in the trailer with Barbette and Lai. If he was going to make a move, now would probably be the time. He rushed out to his Jeep, threw the laundry in, and took the way past the pack rat trailer across the sand and sage rather than drive past Race's trailer, where the aggrieved husband could pick him off from a window. His own tires had left a distinct trail from the night before, and he followed them easily, but drove across the shallow end of the wash rather than going completely around it. The incline was steep, but not impossible. Still, a bad place to get stuck. While his clothes were washing, he called his parents' house. "Buddy, where in the world are you? Didn't you get the letter I sent you with the address? No, quite a lot of mail for you, but nothing from you. Ma, I gotta ask you a favor. I need my paycheck and savings account check real bad. Kinda difficult situation has developed here. I decided I'm probably going to Alaska, maybe contact Zane, stay there a few days if it's all right with him, get a job on one of the fishing boats. So I need Zane's address and telephone number so I can call him. Like, I don't know if he's on the coast or what. But most of all, I need those checks. Can you send them express mail, or I suppose I could drive up there and get them if Dad's not still mad. Denali is in the middle, not on the coast, and Dad is still mad, and as a matter of fact, he's got all your mail in a big envelope out in his truck." Oh no, his father was capable of forging Buddy's signature and cashing the checks, taking the money against the value of the stolen goods. "But I need those checks. Can you talk to him? Tell him I'm kind of desperate. Call you back tomorrow." "I'll try, buddy. I'll dig up Zane's number and address, someplace like Banana. I keep it up in the attic with Christmas card boxes." "Okay, Ma, I'll call you tomorrow around noon. Love you." He spent an uneasy night, the rifle in bed with him, half expecting to hear Race Wham kick in the barricaded door. Hadn't Race said he had an AK-47? Mr. Kolizhnikov's little invention could shoot through a trailer as if it were made of rotten muslin. But Monday morning came, and with it the receding rumble of Race's truck as he drove to work in the near dark. At noon, Buddy went to town to call his mother. His father answered. "Yes, your checks are here. I've got them out in the truck. Your mother told me you were having a problem." "What kind of problem?" There was no point trying to hide anything from his father. He told him that Race Wham had erupted in his life again, that something had happened with the wife, that he was worried that Race might shoot him. "Jesus, buddy, not him again. You got a real talent for trouble. Listen, you better get out of there. He could do it and maybe get away with it. His old man is Polly Wham in the legislature now, knows everybody. He could pull strings and sweep the dirt under the rug. Just come on home right now. Don't waste time talking on the phone. Don't go pack your bags. Just get in your Jeep and get here. Say it will take you 5 hours. Get your ass home now. We'll discuss the ramifications when you get here." It was a relief to know that his father thought the situation was serious. He was right. Get out now while Race was at work. But he didn't want to leave his clothes, the arrowhead he'd found, and the .30-06 still in the trailer. At some point, he would have to go back for them. At home, he spent hours with his father, driving around and talking. He told him everything about the mountain man, about Race's kids, Vernon Clarence's broken arm, the drive to the hospital, and Sherry's successful assault. He called Zane in Nenana, Alaska. "Buddy, that's great. I've been trying for years to get some of the family to come on out here and look at the finest piece of real estate on the globe. I've got a couple friends, know some guys that fish, and I'll ask around, see if there's any jobs. Even if you don't get on a boat, there's some work. When do you think you'll be out?" Pretty soon. I got to go back to Wamsutter, get my stuff, and I got to do it before the storms come. There's already been some snow. You got snow there?" Do birds have 4 toes? Next day, Thursday, cold, cloudy, and packing a strong wind, he drove back to Wamsutter and took the bad dirt track out to the trailer, sliding down into the wash and clawing his way back up the other side. He'd been gone only 3 days, and there were 2 more new drill rigs in sight. The weather report said possible snow showers. As he parked at the trailer, a few flakes of snow fell, and he could smell a storm closing in. Not snow showers, but a mean storm. Once again, the weather report was wrong. Nothing inside the trailer was disturbed. He went first to the little kitchen window and looked out. There were no vehicles at the Wham trailer. Nobody home, he said to himself. He gathered his clothes, blankets, sheets, and his rifle. Still in the bed, packed them in the Jeep. He would call Cootie and tell her that 1 month of trailer life in the Red Desert had been enough for him. In Wamsutter, he parked in front of the post office and, mindful of the rifle in the back, was locking the Jeep when he heard a child's voice. "Buddy!" It was Barbette, a half-eaten apple in her hand. Well, it's the Sugar Puff girl. How are you, Barbette?" "I'm not the Sugar Puff girl anymore. Greg says Sugar Puffs aren't no good for you, but apples and bananas and grapes are." He looked around nervously but did not see Race's truck. He did see Greg's old power wagon, and walking toward it were Sherry holding Lyle and Greg. Vernon Clarence skipped along, singing some small song and gripping Greg's shirt fringe with his good hand. "Mama, Greg, look it!" Barbette screeched. "It's Buddy!" He lifted his hand in a lukewarm salute, not knowing if Race would come out next, his arms full of beer, his heart full of murder. Sherry gave him a canary-eating grin, and Greg rumbled and laughed. "Son of a bitch, if it ain't old Mountain Man Buddy. We figured you skipped out and we'd never see you again." "I just come back, picked my stuff up at the trailer. I'm heading out, actually, going west. Heard about a job." That was in case Race asked where he had gone. Race was capable of following him to Alaska. Another good reason to work on a boat. Vernon Clarence was pulling at his sleeve. He seemed a different child, his dull face animated, his eyes bright and bold. "Buddy," he said. Buddy, guess what?" "What? You still got your arm in a cast." "Buddy," and he pulled hard, "I want to tell you something, a secret." Buddy crouched down, and Vernon Clarence's sticky lips came close to his ear. He whispered, loudly and happily, "Buddy, the wolves ate Daddy." He laughed, paused to watch the effect this news would have. Buddy, without any effort, looked astonished. Vernon Clarence continued to unload his momentous news. "And Greg says not to tell nobody. Greg is our daddy now, and no wolves can eat him because he is their friend, and they won't eat us because he is our new daddy." "Congratulations," he whispered back to Vernon Clarence and stood up. Something very, very bad had happened to Race. Greg was looking at him. He had to have guessed what Vernon Clarence had whispered. Buddy extended one hand helplessly as if there was nothing to say, found himself looking into the mountain man's eyes. The old merry twinkle was extinguished. A hard, alpha stare had taken its place. Sherry must have told him her version of what had happened the night Vernon Clarence's arm was broken, and Greg now saw him as a rival. He meant to say something mollifying, add an exit line, and get the hell out of Wamsutter, but he began to back away, and when he opened his mouth, what he said was, I see you got your own pack now. And that is the end of the story. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.